Yes, sir. We back, y'all. We back. With part two. All right. Y'all wanted part two? You know what I'm saying? So we here. Y'all, any more videos you want to react to? Just comment down. Or just like the video. That's how I know. All right. No, hey. I don't gotta do my intro because we already.
No, you know. You just don't want to tell me, and it doesn't mean you kill them. All right, but it means go one step at a time. How was that? How was that bottle there?
Price is low.
Your fingerprint from your left index finger is on that bottle, and your DNA is in that liquid right there. But as we're talking to you right now, we're talking to Big Bob up in Amity, Bob and Joy. Okay.
It will come as no surprise when you later see that a crucial element from Bob's account is contradictory to that of Thane's.
Oh, he says that you were up there Wednesday morning, Bob. But Bob says that. Tell me about that bottle, how that bottle was up there. You always get caught. You say, and every time you ever get in trouble, you say, hey, you walk into the police station, here I am, this is it. That shows me you're a man of integrity, you're a man, you're a very intelligent man, and the politics and all that stuff. You seem the type of guy that's very
There's nothing I want to say in the other video. He is a type of, this is why I understand why the police is doing this, because when you find people who like to get their ego stroked, no homo by that, because I know somebody. Anyways, when people like getting their ego stroked, meaning like when you call them smart or you call them like, you know what I'm saying, so like that, it makes them feel better inside about telling the truth.
Or you know it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. You were there just before the murder, or when this accident happened. All right.
But it was clearly no accident. The level of brutality combined with the gruesome nature of the wounds will leave no room for a claim that the killings were anything but cold and calculated.
This voiceover, bro need to be in movies, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, but can you explain how? Yeah, tell me about what you did while you were there.
Well, I drank half a beer.
Right.
And with that admission, Thane's story has significantly changed. It wasn't a week or two, but rather the very day the murders occurred that Thane has admitted to being in Jeff's home. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Tell me about Jason. You met him. This is his ball.
That's his ball.
Right. Did you only meet him the one time?
Honestly?
Yeah. I want the truth.
Straightforward.
During this event?
During this event.
Okay. What night was that? Or what day was that?
Tuesday
evening? Okay, tell me what happened Tuesday evening.
Bro, I think you can outsmart the cops, like.
How'd you get there? My bicycle.
Okay.
And those are the tracks. Right up the driveway.
Where was Jeff when you got there?
Inside.
What time of day was it? You said it was evening. I mean, was it dark? Was it?
Not dark.
Jeff was inside. Was Jason inside?
Inside.
Jason was inside. Was the little boy inside?
At the counter, having a beer. Inside, playing TV.
You didn't know the boy was there, did you? The boy was so bad playing Nintendo or something. You didn't know he was there when you first got there.
The detective makes use of the board once again. This is a perfect example of how drawing the scene can help to lock a suspect into their story.
Now, you pedal up here to the bike. Where do you park your bike?
Right against the car.
Right there. Okay, that's good. That explains the little scratcher down there. Okay. So, you go inside. You're sitting at the bar with Jason and...
I'm sitting at the table.
Life is good at this point, right? When you walked in, were they okay to see you?
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they offer you a beer?
Yeah.
You go to the refrigerator and get the beer?
Yeah.
It seems what Thane is saying so far may be true, and knowing this just makes the surreal situation that much more disturbing. The men had no idea they were sipping what would be the last beers of their lives.
That's so
they're having a smoke.
That's another thing too about that little statement right there is like, bro, because especially back in the day, if you watched my other videos, I used to do like a year ago. I used to make videos on like it'd be like the last time people would be like on CCTV cameras. So you literally watch them, like say if they was in a hotel or something like that, and it's the last moments before they disappeared. You feel me? So like that. So it'd be crazy when you say like, yeah, this is the last time you ever gonna see this person be able to walk straight normally. You know what I'm saying? Or blah blah blah. You feel me? Same was like, I seen a picture yesterday. It was saying like, you never know when your last goodbye is. You feel me? And it had like a picture basically of like It was like 4 people saying goodbye to each other, going different ways, and one person about to get hit by a car as he's saying goodbye. One person about to fall into a ditch as he about to say goodbye. Other person about to walk into a tree. You know what I mean? So it's like that. It's like, bro, you never know, bro. You really never know. That shit's so bold.
At this point, you have a smoke, right?
Yeah, I smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. You had at least 2 cigarettes.
That's right. I was smoking Black Hawks that night.
Yeah.
With the white pots.
Right.
You know more than I do.
With it, I know everything. Yeah. Was it a brown filter, white filter?
It must have been a brown filter.
If I told you it was white, would that screw you up?
Yeah, I don't know.
And suddenly, Thane recalls more about those cigarettes. The walls are beginning to close in on him now. The detective applies more pressure.
And soon you're going to know that I know that you know that I know, right? Okay, follow that?
Look at this guy.
Okay, it's a little dance we're doing, but you know that I know. So you have a smoke. Something goes terribly wrong. Jeff comes outside, we think. Something happened right down this area. Outside.
We went outside and came over here by the garden. I smoked a joint.
Down here by the garden
Jason.
area. I'm sorry?
And I smoked a joint with Jason.
And you smoked a joint with Jason. Okay.
And Jeff didn't smoke.
Still don't know the boys there yet. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Thane is coming to the realization that the detective's thick-headed persona has been just that, and he's been playing him all along. Still, Thane gives it another go.
Like I said, I asked Jeff about work.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about carpentry and all sorts of different things. And he had said he had some nails for me. And that's why you have my prints towards the shed.
So where's the shiz? Where are the shiz? Okay. So when were you out there by the sheds?
That
Tuesday night. Into Wednesday morning. Tuesday.
See, I feel like this dude doesn't even know. Like, I feel like this dude walked in here and he probably like went over the lie like one time, but I feel like he really didn't even like put no thought into his lie. I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna lie. He didn't put no thought into his lie. I'm not gonna lie. No cap. You feel me? I feel like because it just sounds like, because it's like, remember, these people, I'm gonna keep saying it too, they went to school for this, bro. They literally went to school for this. So it's like, if you don't have like a devious plan on what you're gonna say and how, because then another thing too, you gotta know how they're gonna try to decipher your lie. So you gotta have like literally, you have to literally plan all this out, literally plan all of it. But if you don't go into all that thought and all that detail, and you just go in there just thinking that I'm just gonna outsmart the cops, like I'm the smartest guy on earth, I don't need no thought into this. What do you think is gonna happen, bro? Like, I'm literally getting that vibe from this dude. Like, he didn't really even know.
It was Tuesday night.
What he was gonna say.
I was
honestly
home shortly thereafter.
But we all know that's not the case.
Bang. Tuesday.
It was Tuesday night. Yeah, I was home shortly thereafter.
But we all know that's not the case.
Bang. Well, that's the truth.
I know you want the truth, but I'm gonna have to plead the fifth.
Okay. Does that mean you want to stop talking? Or?
For a minute, I'm gonna
Okay.
get another coffee.
Okay, well, here's what we do.
I'm gonna need to take a cigarette, and if
Right.
you could bring me a joint, maybe.
Making these requests is likely
What?
Thane's attempt to alleviate his stress by taking
what? Bring him a joint? What do you think this is? Bro, think he the dude off of bro, think the last reaction we seen, the bro came in there and gave him a full course meal. Bro gave him a Thanksgiving meal. The first 3 seconds he walked into the interrogation room, he was eating a full course Thanksgiving meal, bro. Bro, think this is this. Why would the police bring you some weed? How? First of all, why would they even have weed? That's number one. Why would they even have weed? And number two, why would they even give it to you if they did have it? What the fuck?
control of his environment. He's trying to manipulate the detective into getting him things because he knows he has information they really want, and that puts him into a position of power over the detective. It may also be a sign of impulsivity, a common trait of psychopaths. Instead of completely refusing to talk and getting a lawyer, which would likely be in his best interest long term,
Right.
he chooses the short-term gratification of coffee and a break.
Here's what we're going to do. I appreciate you being honest. All right. I want you to go get you a cup of coffee. We'll give you a piss break. If you want some food, we can make that happen. I'm hungry too. I cannot get you a joint. They kind of frown on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I cannot get you a beer. Trust me, I want to.
I don't want to join.
I do.
I do want to join.
Yeah, if I could give you a joint, I would.
All joking aside, the detective lays everything out for Thane.
Right,
This will
for
give
weed.
him something to contemplate during his upcoming break.
You know that I know the truth. And I want you to know that you're doing a search warrant right now up at Bob's and Joyce's. We got full statements from both of them. That's not consistent with you up to this point. And we're talking to Bob Jr. down here. We're doing a search at his place right now. And that's not fair to Bob Jr. He had nothing to do with this.
Note that Bob Jr. is Bob Strout's son, who had allowed Thane to stay in his New Hampshire home the past several days.
None of them had anything.
None of them did, but you did. You know, I would like to know what happened for the truth. You've always been a man of integrity. You know in your heart what happened. We know what happened by all the evidence. We wouldn't be sitting here talking
And
to
someone
you.
who's innocent wouldn't let somebody say, you know what happened, you was there, you did this, and you just not say nothing. No one that was actually innocent would, you know what I mean? Would you let somebody wrongly convict you of murder of multiple people? No. You be
Since
trying to
this
plead,
tactic
like,
has
bro,
worked
what are you talking about?
previously, the detective tries to once again appeal to Thane's inflated sense of his character.
Doesn't make you a bad guy. Something went terribly wrong. There was an accident, I think. I have theories about what happened. The family deserves the truth. Yeah. You have a lot of weight on you.
See,
right now.
I'm just last time pausing. But one thing I want to know is like, how do like obviously I know they went to school and stuff like that, so they know how to do these things. But it's like, how do they come up with these theories and they like know exactly what happened? Like that's what's low key sweet about it. That I like, it's like they literally know what happened, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just off knowing like a little bit of piece of evidence, and which I know also too, like they've been doing it for years. You know what I mean? So it's like they could just like tell or whatever. But he said he knows exactly what the bud is, what cigarette, whatever. Then he know what it just because of tire tracks. It just probably happened, and then you took it. You know what I mean? Just like shit, crazy to me. I don't
Don't
know.
you? See, yeah. And it will continue to eat you up like a cancer. You're not the first person I've talked to who's done something like this. And it eats them up. And believe it or not, people have told me that after they finally spit it out, they feel so much better.
There definitely could be some truth behind the detective's statement, but it's an attempt to appeal to any feelings of remorse that
Right.
Thane may have.
Right.
Even if it's unlikely that the suspect feels bad for what they've done, statements like this will remind them that by confessing, they can bring the uncomfortable interview to an end, which may be a motivating factor for some.
I don't think you're a cold-blooded killer that is was out killing people. You know, I don't think you woke up in the morning and said, "Oh, let me go kill 3 people." You're responsible.
Might
for
have
this, right?
though. Might have.
Second.
Why don't you go have some
What did you
this was
say?
out killing people? You know, I don't think you woke up in the morning and said, "Oh, let me go kill 3 people." You're responsible for this, right?
I won't say.
Why don't you go have some? We'll get a cigarette break. We'll talk some more.
It's possible.
And it's going to be okay. All right, you're doing the right thing. You're a good boy. You're a good man. You know, you're not a boy. You're a man. And
No, don't call me that.
you don't think you're a man?
Not earned, not deserved.
Well, mistakes happen. Like I said earlier, my dad always told me that's why they put erasers on pencils.
Perhaps I do need a lawyer.
Okay. Go have a smoke, we'll come back and we'll finish this up.
They leave the room for a break and return several minutes later. And during this time, a complete transformation has occurred. You're about to meet a new Thane, and the stark contrast between this version and the one you encountered previously is particularly shocking.
There's no way.
Hey, bring you a coffee. When he gets back in here, I'll go get you one, all right?
Was he
Do
crying?
you actually want coffee, though?
Yes.
Okay, I'll get you one in a minute.
Oh, now he's
As the
saying
tears
yes, sir.
stream down his face, he looks more like a scared boy rather than the responsible, righteous adult that he initially presented himself to be. In addition to the tears, we also see that Thane is rubbing his face and rubbing his hands together. Both are adapter behaviors, indicative of anxiety he is clearly feeling. However, it's possible that this sudden change might be a ploy for pity from the detective, a manipulation tactic. Or it may even be that Thane now realizes that he's been caught, and this display of emotion is because he knows he can't escape.
This is the first time I've cried.
Yeah. I know. It's a lot to absorb, buddy. It's a lot to process. I'm gonna go get him his coffee.
No good. Hey, buddy. Huh? Thane, I want you to know
Bro, crying like a little
that I'm
ass
here for you the
kid.
best I can be. I cannot make you any promises about the media. I can't make you any promises about that. That's way over my head. I will go to bat for you. I mean, I will stand up for you about what you tell me in here, and about how you're cooperating and stuff like that.
The detective has taken on an almost paternalistic role. While Thane knows his case is quickly turning into a lost cause, the detective knows he still needs him to be comfortable enough to keep talking. They still have many questions that need to be answered. Thane noticeably responds to the compassion the detective displays toward him. We know that Thane claims he was removed from his mother's care at age 12 due to alleged abuse. Since he told the detectives about this, they likely know that he will respond well if they treat him with kindness. His behavior so far has been consistent with long-term consequences, which could be present in some victims of childhood abuse, such as difficulty regulating one's own emotions, anger issues and/or mental health problems, and substance abuse and/or violent behavior. With that in mind, the detective delves back into the process of seeking the truth behind the killings. And you probably recall Thane's previous statements about pleading the fifth and possibly needing an attorney. So the detective informs Thane that he has to read him his rights once again.
But I want to make sure now, you said you're willing to talk to me. I want to make sure you know that I didn't beat the hell out of you outside. You know, we were just outside talking there, and you kind of gave some statements about, I'm going to be here tonight, you're going to tell me what happened.
I was afraid of that, honestly. And
You were afraid of what?
You scared me that day you left.
You were afraid of what?
I knew you were on to me, but yeah, I was afraid you were the bad cop and you were going to beat me up if you did it out there.
No. This is as excited as I get. But what I told you that day, if you did it, I'm going to get you. You
What
know?
I tell you, do you remember?
Huh?
What I tell you, do you remember?
You said I didn't do it.
I said I know.
Oh, that's right. Look at that, you said I know.
Well, obviously I wasn't planning on getting caught.
Obviously. Let me,
Yeah, he already said
The
it.
deep sighs and heavy breathing show that Thane's fight-or-flight mode has clearly kicked in. His body has a heightened need for extra oxygen. The detective reviews Thane's rights, and Thane agrees to proceed with the questioning.
Hold on
Where do you
real
want
quick. Sorry, I talked to my father.
start.
Where would you like to start?
When did you go up there that night?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night? What time
Before
was it?
dark.
Before dark?
6, 7.
Jason was there at this point.
Jason.
Was that the first time you met him?
That wasn't the first
Okay. What happened? You're on your pedal bike?
time. It was on my pedal bike.
Okay. So what happened?
Everything was going fine, to tell you the truth. I did see Jesse, and Jesse was in the living room. He was playing video games.
So far, it seems Thane feels defeated and has resigned himself to the fact that all evidence is pointing right in his direction.
And you know what's even crazier too is like the detectives didn't even honestly really think about it. What did detectives do? They didn't put no real pressure on him, honestly, because I've seen it can get way worse. You know what I mean? They really didn't even do nothing, honestly. You feel me? But just decipher his dumbass lie. That's really what they did. Decipher his dumbass lie. You feel me? So honestly, like I feel like the fact that they didn't even do anything and you already feel defeated and shit, like you should already, I don't even know why you even came in here with this mindset that you even is gonna outsmart them or whatever.
Then, true to his earlier
even do nothing.
version, we see that he changes course.
I think we should start with why.
Okay.
I know you want the hard details. So
Right.
you got your family.
Why is good to know.
Thane is about to divulge quite a story. It goes without saying, though, he is not a credible source. We've already seen his story evolve many times over.
Jeff Ryan.
Jeff Ryan.
And I never got this far. And I've never met him either. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he probably has nothing to do with this case. Has
Right.
nothing to do with the situation.
Right.
Back in the day, there were 3 people that were the biggest drug dealers. I won't mention one, but the other 2 were Jeff Ryan.
And you wanted to rid the world of them. So you hated Jeff because he was a drug dealer?
Because of the things he's done to other people.
Uh-huh.
Because of what he was.
So you decided to take care of that. Be a vigilante type thing? Yeah.
This theory is an interesting one. It seems Thane is trying to paint himself in the
Bro,
most...
think he Batman? Who you think you are, Batman, my guy? What are you talking about? If you wanna do so much justice, how about you call the police and let them handle it? Batman. Bro, think he
positive
Batman.
light he can by deflecting, attempting to make others seem worse than himself. A quite twisted justification for sure.
I'll tell you what I know about Jeff Ryan, even though these are things I've known without meeting him.
Uh-huh. And you knew this from cameras now?
I've known this from all sorts of people in my life.
You thought that he was a drug dealer.
I know he wasn't doing much now,
Right.
but I know he used to do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he hurt. And he hurt
A lot of
a
people.
lot of people.
According to Jake, Jason DeHaan's brother, Jeff had allegedly asked Thane to stay away from his daughter, who was a minor. Though this has never been confirmed, there is speculation that this may have been Mariah, Bob and Joy Strout's granddaughter. Though these claims have never been verified and are pure speculation, there is a possibility that this may be another layer to Thane's relationship with Jeff, or could even possibly be another alleged motive for the killings. It could also potentially explain why Thane felt the need to mention to detectives that Jeff allegedly hurt Mariah.
And I don't believe in what he does, because I don't believe in, I smoke weed, but I don't believe in drugs.
Right.
For someone so intent on painting himself to be a man of values, he definitely strayed from that character when he killed 3 people, especially when one of them was a child.
Shit, fuck that,
That's
bro.
one of the baffling things about individuals who commit murders like these. They do an obviously wrong, often horrific thing in the name of something they consider to be right. They even feel justified doing something immoral in order to defend what they believe is moral. Or at least, this is how Thane is attempting to portray the situation.
Bro, think he
He
Batman.
displays some key traits of individuals with antisocial personality disorder. His actions demonstrate that he feels he has the right to take the law into his own hands and punish those he thinks are bad and have hurt others. There's a significant element of grandiosity here, a sense of omnipotence, for Thane to believe that he can decide which bad guys should die. Grandiosity is the key word with Thane, from his trying to present as highly intelligent to believing he can take the law into his own hands. He thinks incredibly highly of himself.
Have you ever killed before?
No.
I have to ask. And one of the reasons I asked, you're very proficient in what you did. Where did you learn this?
That's just it, is
That's another thing that we're curious about. Did you learn how to do this from any military training, martial arts training, TV, movies, videos, video games? The way you stabbed it was very proficient.
self-knowledge. It was my first time ever stabbing anybody, really.
These compliments may or may not be true. Their purpose is likely to flatter Thane and coax him into admitting to other killings.
It was just mental focus. And I've studied things that I shouldn't have studied and know things that I shouldn't have studied. So you're right, I wanted to be a Marine, and no one taught me anything. I know a couple moves.
Yeah.
But I prepared myself for years to be a soldier.
So you read a lot of literature on assassins? We're back to the original question. Is that where did you learn to stab like that?
I didn't.
Tell me the technique you used to stab. Was there anything significant for the way you stabbed him?
Not really overhand.
It wasn't like a stab in and out. Was there anything significant that you did when you went in and out?
I didn't try and turn it or anything. I didn't try to be fancy. I just tried to be quick. I wanted to be quick because I didn't want them
It was,
Despite his insistence that he is a moral person, if this was really just about getting rid of this bad person for the betterment of the world, he would have done it when Jeff was alone.
Right.
However, this instead could be a sign of Thane's impulsivity, which is a sign of antisocial personality disorder, along with a reckless disregard for human life.
what the evidence people were telling us, it was quick, confident, cool, and very unique. That it was a stab, twist out. Every one of them was almost military. They said whoever did this is either trained or done training on it, or a military person, assassin.
Thane's ego is being thoroughly fed, and it will pay off as he enlightens the detectives.
somewhere in the subconscious of my mind, I've developed myself as just that, an assassin. And with
Have you
no
ever practiced
with
it?
no training.
Okay. Have you ever
With
practiced
sheer mental imagination.
The self-proclaimed natural
fuck?
assassin is showcasing his narcissistic tendencies. Thane has just confessed, but the detectives still need to know exactly what happened that night, and they urge him to divulge the disturbing details of his attack on Jeff, his first victim. Be forewarned, as the details of the murders are quite brutal.
Where you found him. Where you found my prints. My DNA in the shed where you were showing me nails.
He was out there to show you some nails or something,
Alex,
and he bent over to get you the nails. What happened?
I killed him.
You killed Jeff. So he was bent over, and no,
Back to.
he was back. He was back to you, yeah? And you stabbed him in the back. I'm asking. Okay. And where'd you get the knife?
It was my
It was a bayonet type knife,
large.
knife, and that's the one you keep sharpening all the time.
He's clutching his coffee close to his chest, likely a protective barrier between himself and the detective.
Jason sat down next to Jesse on the couch.
Right. And you guys are outside, and you're thinking, now it's time. He never said anything to you?
He was just trying to help me.
Okay. How many times did you stab him, you think?
Those are questions I don't know the answer to.
Yeah. Are you saying 1 or 100? I mean,
Multiple.
multiple times?
Okay.
After inviting Thane into his home, Jeff was completely blindsided, his back turned when he was attacked.
You stab him, and does he fight you back?
Momentarily, but I didn't want it to be a prolonged thing. I wanted it to be as quick as possible, and unfortunately, I mean, wasn't long, but different from what you expect.
Right.
He didn't understand. Why would you do this?
He asked you why you
What?
do?
Stop. Holy Jesus Christ. Those type of words.
Did you say anything to him?
No.
And that was where Thane's already horrendous plan took an even more sickening turn.
I knew that I couldn't just leave him there with two people who just saw me. Obviously, this is premeditated murder, is the term you used for it.
Did you go there planning to kill him?
Yes.
You did.
Oh, yep, he's done. He's done. He's done. He's done. He's done. He's done.
Right.
I'm in a mode. I'm scared, and I have to finish what I started.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, think he Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It was a job. It was like a hit to me. And they were on the couch. I stabbed Jason and Jesse ran into the back room. So I chased Jesse. He was the quickest. He just said he was scared.
Any conversations with the little boy?
Oh, he just said he was scared.
He said he was scared.
Okay.
And how many times do you think you stabbed him?
Well, I heard on the news 5, so I'm assuming
Where on his body did you stab him?
from the back.
How was he positioned? You remember the little boy?
He was behind his door.
Behind his door? Is he laying on his back or his stomach?
He's laying on his stomach,
He's laying on his stomach,
up on his knees.
upon his knees.
Thane deserted the body of the little boy and made his way back out to the living room. And there, he found that things were definitely not how he'd left them.
You come out to check on Jason, and he's gone.
And yeah, he's gone. He
So you
disappeared.
think-
He was out of my
you are.
sight. So I ran down, and I'm looking at the road.
You cannot find him?
Well, I'm looking at the road to
Right.
make sure there weren't any witnesses. I didn't want to kill them, but I didn't want to be caught for murder either.
Right. Where did you find him?
He came right back out. He had started to go into the woods and then walked back out, and I think maybe he would have died.
Thane had already stabbed
Wait,
Jason.
what?
Right. You cannot find him? Jason, and he's gone.
Made his way back out to the
Stomach,
He's laying on his stomach,
up on his knees.
upon his knees.
Thane deserted the body of the little boy and made his way back out to the living room. And there, he found that things were definitely not how he'd left them.
You come out to check on Jason, and he's gone.
And yeah, he's gone. He
you
disappeared.
think-
He was out of my
you are.
sight. So I ran down, and I'm looking at the road.
You cannot find him?
Well, I'm looking at the road to
Right.
make sure there weren't any witnesses. I didn't want to kill them, But I didn't want to be caught for murder either.
Right. Where did you find him?
He came right back out. He had started to go into the woods and then walked back out. And I think maybe he would have died.
Thane had already stabbed Jason multiple times as he was seated on the couch.
I thought he wasn't making it out of the house.
Somehow, while Thane was ending Jesse's life in the back bedroom, Jason had mustered up what little strength he had left and escaped the house.
And I chased him down the road, and that's why he was in the ditch.
Okay. You pulled him into the ditch?
Yes.
Okay. And does he say anything to you? Does he's trying to get away from you? Does he...
Yeah, he didn't understand, because obviously I had just met him, and there was no reason to.
You really want to mess with
Bro, what the fuck? Oh my god, bro. See, I'm not laughing at, you know what I'm saying, the case of, like, them dying. So don't think I'm just laughing at them. But, like, bro, it's like, this is the way he explains this shit. It's just like, it's so fucked up, bro. People don't deserve to die, bro. Especially like this. Especially like this.
very first time?
It was really the first time I met him.
Yeah.
The sheer
So
terror.
he killed somebody the first time he met them. Imagine somebody. That's so crazy to think about. That's honestly low key. Like that's low key. What's it called? Accomplishment. The first time you met somebody, you killed them. Wow.
Jason had to have been experiencing is unimaginable, and it only gets worse as
First time
Thane's
he met him,
grisly
bro.
account continues.
You thinking, you know, oh, this is gonna be a start of a new friendship. I just met this dude. You know what I mean? Maybe we could be best friends one day, and the nigga kill you an hour later. Stab your ass an hour later, bro. Are you serious?
I brought him down, put him to the ditch. I know I hit him in the head once, and that was a bad shot. I was nervous. I was by the road.
Hit him in the head with what?
My knife. Okay. I
The
cut his
fuck?
throat.
You cut his throat? How many times did you cut his throat?
2, maybe 3 slashes.
2, maybe 3 slashes.
Ooh.
And it's obviously something I had never done before. It was just.
Jason's harrowing attempt to escape with his life proved unsuccessful as Thane finished what he'd started. According to the medical examiner, each victim did what little they could to protect themselves or escape based on positioning of the bodies. After the killing rampage had come to an end, Thane's work was essentially just beginning. He said so himself. He hadn't planned on being caught, and so began the next phase.
Okay, so now all 3 people are dead. What do you do with them?
Picked up my tracks.
Thane gives an account of his amateur attempt to remove all potential evidence within the home.
Okay, so now you pick up the best you can, you clean up the kitchen area and stuff. Where do you go from there? You take the pickup truck, and where do you go? To the bike on the back, you said.
Back on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up going over to the junkyard, and I ditched my bike.
Then someone else entered the picture.
What?
Bob told detectives that Thane came through the woods located by his residence, and he was covered in blood. Thane allegedly stated that he'd killed them all. Bob then claimed that Thane threatened to kill Bob's family if he didn't help him. We'll likely never know what words were truly exchanged, but there's no question that Bob was an integral part of the events that followed the slayings. Though we can't be sure, it seems he wasn't aware of Thane's plan prior to the commission of the heinous acts.
He says he sees you
That's
covered in
low key fucked up too, cause now Bob was just in the crossfire damn near. You know what I'm saying? He just you know what I'm saying, just seen him. And the bro already think he Batman / Jason. You feel me? Michael Myers. So
blood. He says to you, what the hell happened? And you told him everything that happened. And I know you don't want to get Bob involved, but Bob's already told us.
Yeah. Okay. I told him right after.
You told him right after you did it, right?
He was
What?
shocked.
He was shocked. What did he say to you?
Not much. I just asked him to bring me some coffee, and he told me to stay away from the house because I was covered.
bro want
Thane
coffee.
then reluctantly
That's what
admits
he
that he
wanted?
drove Jeff's truck to Tamara Strout's home, located in nearby Weston.
You went to Tamara's to spend the night with the pickup truck down there? Or where'd you leave the
I parked
pickup
it
on?
out back.
Where was Tamara doing all this stuff? Tamara knows, right? Tamara knows you did this?
Oh, God.
That following morning, Bob appeared at his daughter Tamara's vacant house, where Thane was staying.
He brought me a pair of clothes.
Were you surprised that he showed up with clothes? Or
Yeah.
was that part of the plan?
No, I was surprised
Really?
that he came back. Yeah, I wasn't expecting.
He wasn't
anybody.
expecting.
I was sleeping. He thought you wanted to change your clothes. I was covered in blood.
What was Bob's role in this thing, if you will?
No. I mean, simply that he knew. He didn't want to see me go down for it, and that's all.
Did he say that to you, or are you just thinking that? Did he tell you we have to go burn the truck now, or was that your idea? Or did he tell you we gotta get rid of that truck, or is it a we thing now?
No. I had to get rid of the truck. He just gave me.
He just gave you a ride.
Trying to nail down a charge of hindering arrest or obstruction of justice for Bob, the detective is probing for what other involvement this possible accomplice may have had in aiding in Thane's crimes. And with his next statement, the detective gets the answer he's looking for.
It was, you probably should get the f- out of here.
Is that what he said?
Honestly.
Yeah, that's almost one honesty.
He told me I should skip the stay, burn the truck, burn the house.
I'm confused a little bit about how that happened.
He gave me a ride.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I drove the truck.
Did you get gas somewhere that morning? Where did you get the gas? Did you
Yeah.
use? Did you burn the truck and Bob gave you a ride to the truck with the gas? I mean, because we had somebody who saw you bringing the gas in with a white jug or some type of a jug, and you were like walking in, don't want to spill it, but you burnt your truck. It was around noontime Wednesday, way before we found the bodies. So where'd you go after you burnt the truck?
After burning the truck some 15 miles away in the town of Weston, a crucial event took place. Part of Thane's process of getting rid of evidence, or so he thought.
When was it that you threw your knife in the pond?
On the way back.
On the way back from burning the truck?
On the way back from Danforth after burning the truck.
After the burning truck. Can you tell us where that pond is? You don't know, or you can't tell us?
It's in a swamp.
Bob's taking us now to that swamp area. I want to make sure that we want to find that knife, obviously. True.
I mean, I know it's evidence, but if I'm admitting my guilt,
But we would like to have full closure. So,
I couldn't tell you where it is. I might be able to show you where it is.
The detective, who has mostly been observing and taking notes, now asks an important question, one that brings this case to an even more hideous reality.
You had killed Jeff, Jason, and Jesse. Jesse is Bob's grandson.
It's important to note that Jesse is not Bob's biological grandson. Bob's daughter Tamara had a teenage daughter with Jeff, but Jesse's mother was a woman named Jamie Merrill. Given how the detectives are referring to Jesse as Bob's grandson, he may have still treated him as such, though this has not been publicly confirmed.
How is it you feel that his wanting to help you out outweighed the death of his grandson to the point where he didn't feel as though he should turn you in? What do you think made him not want to do that?
It's hard telling.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only known Bob for so long.
and he gave you a ride down to burn that truck. And he was with you when you threw the knife out. But he says, you know, what's the conversation like between you and Bob at this point?
He needed to know from me that I had learned a lesson.
The lesson Thane had learned remains a mystery, considering he made every effort to destroy all evidence of his connection to the crimes. Then he fled the state and headed to New Hampshire.
Did you call Bob Jr. down here to say, can I come down there and hang out?
They talk all the time.
They do.
He talks with his mother all the time, and we had already put in prior to that I might go down. And, we knew he was looking for a roommate
Bob drove you down here. Why wouldn't he tell us? Or why?
because he cared about me, and I cared about him.
Thane appears to be protective of Bob and somewhat reluctant to say anything that could get Bob in trouble. This is unusual, as generally psychopaths only care about themselves.
I mean, if
They
you really think about it, he did help him out. He was like the only person that really was there helping him out, so it makes sense. You know what I mean? If you have any dignity or any, whatever.
Tend to have concern for another person, but only as a form of manipulation to get what they want. However, Thane may be trying to portray himself as a stand-up guy because he's willing to take the fall for Bob. Bob is one of the biggest conundrums of this case, as he appears to have helped Thane after he knowingly killed his grandson.
That is
Unfortunately,
weird.
that choice may be a mystery we never solve.
That is weird, though, right? Why did he help him? Maybe did he have some like secret animosity towards them too? You know what I'm saying? Like what is up with that? That's low key a good question.
But that's not the only baffling family connection in this case.
This is a weird.
As the
everything
detectives
is weird
continue
about
their
this.
efforts to fill in the missing pieces of the puzzle, they return to the topic of motive. Thane may have given a motive, but it's still not making sense. In an effort to keep justifying what he's done, he will soon reveal what may be his most outrageous claim yet.
So what about this other guy you said you wanted to kill? What's his name again? Who's the third guy?
Third guy?
You said you wanted to kill 3 people.
2. There were 3 people that used to be the biggest drug dealers.
I see. And you wanted to kill 2 of the 3?
As the interrogation is winding,
This is why you always stay cool with everybody. No matter what you are, no matter who you are, no matter what. Don't ever wrong nobody, don't ever do nothing to nobody that you wouldn't want done to yourself. Because just like how this dude is, they were 3 drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? They probably just, I don't know what they did. They could have did something. We're gonna see. But let's just say they didn't do nothing. They were just all about their money and stuff like that. And you know, one time, say like you a drug dealer and stuff like that, because you know, if y'all don't know about drugs stuff like that, or just weed specifically, you know, a drug dealer, they might try to short you on your weed. Say you buy, you know what I'm saying, a certain amount of weed, and they won't give you the amount you paid for. They give you like a little bit under, so they can keep more to sell more. You know what I mean, type shit. So, and somebody like this person who buys regularly, they probably have a scale at home to weigh and see if they bought the correct amount. You know what I mean? So you cop from them and stuff like that, and they look at the scale and it's not the right amount, and now somebody might just be crazy. He might just be on his this weed, he might have bought this. Think about it. You thinking that you just getting over on a dude, whatever, as a drug dealer, you think you just getting over a dude. But this dude on his last straw, this dude going through everything. So you finessing a dude that's ready to lash out over anything, literally anything. You know what I'm saying? So you shorted his weed, and now he want to kill you over 3 buds of weed. You feel me? So just like that, don't ever run nobody. It's not even worth it, honestly. Like what you get over on what a couple, you know what I mean, a 0.5 of weed, 1 gram of weed, and now, you know what I'm saying, people want to kill you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not worth it, bro. It's really not worth it, honestly. And you never know who already have secret animosity for you anyways. Somebody already might not just like you just because of who you are. You know what I'm saying? Which just sounds crazy, but it happens. Like, people just might not like you because you're cuter than them. Or they don't like you because you get along with everybody. Or even worse, like, oh, somebody like, you had a boyfriend, like say you're a girl, you're a beautiful girl, and it's another girl that's who your friend, but really don't like you, but she's your friend, and she want this dude, but you're prettier than her, so the dude want her. I mean, the dude want you instead of her. You know what I'm saying? So now she mad at you, number 1, because you're cuter than her. Number 2, now you stole her boy. So it's like, just don't know wrong about it, bro, because people already got secret animosity and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Down, Thane still hasn't provided a convincing motive as to why he took it upon himself to end the lives of 3 people, other than his baseless claim that Jeff was a drug dealer. And it must be noted that no evidence was ever found that supported this idea after all. Still, there had to be more to it. As the detectives press him, Thane makes a sickening allegation, revealing more behind his profound hatred toward Jeff.
Of all the people in the world that do drugs, there's some very bad people up there. Why did you pick Jeff?
Right.
He's responsible for Mariah going to foster care. I've heard terrible things.
If you found any of his previous statements to be shocking, what you're about to hear will completely blow your mind.
All right, Floridas, don't hype this up, bro. He been hyping this up for a little minute. Don't hype this up, and it's not that shocking, bro. Please.
Dog. Like that. Weird.
He would call him that. You saying
He was.
he was what?
Dog.
He was a dog.
Bestiality.
Jeff was?
Yes.
Huh?
And how do you know that?
Hearsay.
Okay.
There's no evidence to support such a ludicrous allegation, and it appears that once again Thane may be attempting to justify his actions with claims that paint him as the so-called good guy in this twisted situation.
All right, if you want, I will.
What? He liked it. Okay. Now, it sounds like Mariah might have told him that, because he said he put Mariah in foster care. So Mariah might not even like Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Mariah might not even like Jeff, and she just might have just been saying some shit or whatever one day because she was mad at him because he put him in foster care. She was saying shit to this fucking idiot, and now, like you said, it's a fucking hearsay. He say you don't have no evidence that he really was out here doing that to dogs, and I'm not putting it past nobody. Hey, he could have been. Not gonna lie. I'm just saying I need some evidence because that's
We'll let you write a statement out. Like again, start where you feel is important, and right up till now. You thought about this a couple days ahead of time, and your own words that this was premeditated. Do you feel it was?
Yeah.
You do feel it was. You know it was premeditated. And one more time before I let you write your statement here, you know about your Miranda rights. You don't have to do this.
Why the hell not?
Okay.
On that note, they take a break and exit the room. This may actually be further evidence of his impulsivity. He doesn't want to go through the whole legal process and wait to find out what's going to happen to him. He just wants to be sentenced immediately. This may have been a similar thought process as he had the night of the murder. When he arrived at Jeff's and saw there were additional people there, he didn't want to wait for another time. He had the plan in his head and just wanted to get it done, regardless of the additional casualties.
wow.
Hold my chair. Sure.
And that's what it said. It's wrong place at wrong time. Like I said, he just trying to get one person, but y'all just there. You feel me? And then think about this. Like, what if that person wasn't even gonna go to his house that day? You feel me? What if he was never gonna go to his house? What if he said, I'm thinking about chilling today, but I'm gonna just go over and see Jeff because I miss him, miss my friend. You feel me? And just like that one decision.
But if you thought the case ended here, it doesn't. Not quite yet. In classic Thane fashion, he has more strange comments to offer as he writes up his statement.
And I just realized when I was taking a pee that the word they use for me is homicidal maniac.
He likely doesn't realize that he's further reinforced the fact that the murders were premeditated, and this definitely won't be of any benefit to his defense when the case goes to trial. Even as Thane works through his statement, he can't help but keep talking, and the detective continues to humor him in case he adds anything more that they can eventually use against him. And of course, he does.
Honestly, I did it to test myself.
To test yourself? What type of test was that?
I don't know. To see if I was proficient. I told you I spent my childhood wanting to be a soldier.
You wanted to be a soldier your whole childhood. Yeah. So this is like a test for you to see if you're proficient?
Proficient. Let me look up the word proficient real quick. Hold on. Okay. So, competent or skilled in doing or using something. Okay. So he just wanted to see if he could be a soldier. That's honestly what it is. He just wanted to see. You feel me? He just wanted to see.
Essentially.
Yeah. How do you think you did? Other than getting me coming into your life, you didn't expect on that.
Had I worn gloves, had I spent the time, retraced my checks better, had I burnt the house down, you might not have been here. You might not have never caught on to me. You said it yourself. And you said from what they said on the scene that whoever did it did a proficient job.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I got my answer.
You are proficient.
These words don't remotely resemble what you'd expect from an individual who's feeling even a hint of remorse.
Right.
What would you like to have happen?
Best possible outcome from this?
Realistically.
Realistically?
Of course.
I mean, obviously the families need to know what happened. They deserve an apology. It won't be much.
Yeah, I was going to say, what should we tell the family? What do you want us to tell the family? What do you want us to tell the little boy's mother?
That it wasn't personal.
Obviously, his statement couldn't provide so much as a shred of comfort.
Wow.
And even at the end, Thane still tries to rationalize his actions.
Anything in closing you want to say?
I know, sorry, it's not good enough.
No, I know. But you can throw it out there.
Best possible outcome, honestly, that good things could grow where evil was destroyed. You might not see it like that, but it's quite possible that these families will now become closer or stronger where they weren't. That maybe those children might be better growing up without their father. From what I understand, he wasn't necessarily their biological father and wasn't necessarily a good man. As for the boy, he was so young. Too young. From what I understand, he too was well on his way to Thomaston. As for me, I have a feeling what's going to happen is I'm either going to die in prison or be committed to a death sentence. I still have a lot of good nature to me. And I could still be used for good purposes.
Bro. I swear to God, bro, this nigga, bro, he irritate me, bro. This dude is like trying to like justify, like, and he's still trying to sound smart though. That's making him like, bro, you're not smart, bro. Shut up. This is a little facade he got going on. He just an egotistical person. Like, he wanna sound like he's just so smart and just so sophisticated and like, bro. So let's go back though. So he killed Jeff because he was a dog effer. That's why. He was the biggest drug dealer and he was a dog effer. Did he do anything to you? No. You know what I'm saying? Now, the dog effing, that is messed up and that's very disgusting. If it's true. We still know if it's true or not. We don't know. He could just be saying the randomest shit just so to make himself sound cool. Or just to give him a justification on why he did it. You feel me? So we still don't even know. Bro. And he's still just trying to sit here and act like he's super smart.
Gardening or otherwise. I still have a love for things that grow. I still have dreams.
Well,
And
sorry,
with that,
buddy.
It's clear that the detectives have reached the limit when it comes to useful information Thane is willing to provide. Finally, Thane's monologue must come to an end.
I guess we're
Is
ready.
there's anything else?
We'll take your coffee. But, they're going to arrest you for being a fugitive from justice.
Okay.
You're going to be charged with 3 counts of murder from the state of Maine. All right.
Could I maybe finish my coffee?
No, it's on.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Ha ha. Ha ha. No more, bitch. No more. No
May
more.
God have mercy on your soul.
Ooh.
In
He
addition
said, "May God have mercy on your soul." He might low-key die though. He might.
to his murder charges, Thane was charged with a count of arson. He
What does that
waived
mean?
extradition and returned to Maine. In keeping with his behavior so far, the legal proceedings that followed Thane's arrest were anything but standard. Despite his detailed confession, he initially entered a plea of not guilty to each of his charges.
Of course not.
Then, in May of 2011, there was a final twist. Thane had a change of heart and amended his not guilty pleas to not criminally responsible by reason of insanity.
Oh my God.
It came as quite a surprise, based on a statement he made during his interrogation.
I'm not pleading for insanity.
As a result, he was granted a 2-phase trial. Phase 1 produced guilty verdicts on each count. As for Phase 2, the jury found Thane to have been criminally responsible on all counts.
Right.
He
literally said
received 3
professional
life
doing it.
sentences for the murders, in
Damn.
addition to 15 years for arson. And despite
What is
mul-
arson? Let me look it up real quick. Oh, the arson is for burning stuff. Cause he tried to burn the evidence. So they gave him. They not playing with that.
Thane to have been criminally responsible on all counts. He received 3 life sentences for the murders, in addition to 15 years for arson. And despite multiple attempts to get his conviction overturned or have his case reviewed, Thane has not had any success.
He's still
He
trying to
remains
get out.
exactly where he should be, in a small prison cell where he can reflect on the 3 lives he so callously stole. But you must be wondering what became of Bob Strout.
Right.
In a strange turn of events, Bob was arrested in 2011 by the Maine Drug Enforcement Agency and charged with aggravated furnishing or distribution of scheduled drugs and violation of bail. According to police, Bob allegedly furnished oxycodone to his grandson on 5 occasions.
What the
As far
fuck?
as his part in helping Thane, Bob was convicted in 2012 and found guilty of hindering apprehension and arson. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. However, all but 4 years of that sentence were suspended.